Hi guys, welcome back to a new get ready with me girl talk video. I did one I think almost a month ago. Oh, what happened to this brush? What the hell? You guys seem to really love it, so I wanted to do another one. I think it's a really fun way for me to combine my girl talks and my get ready with me's. And I picked out 20 questions. I think they're all different from what I've answered in the last one. There might be some repeats in there because some of these questions are quite broad and I just kind of answer them quite like in depth and then I just repeat myself. So this video is probably going to be quite long again, which is why I think it's like fun for you to even get ready with me. Like just literally grab your makeup or whatever you want to do and just get ready with me while I'm talking. I really love when you guys say that my videos or like my vlogs kind of feel like I'm like on FaceTime with you guys. That's totally the vibe that I want to give off with these videos as well. I want you to kind of feel like we're just on FaceTime and I'm just giving you some advice on certain things and just very lighthearted and fun. So makeup wise, I found a photo. I was looking for makeup inspo because my makeup is just always the same, to be honest. But I saw this one and I think she has like blue eyeshadow. I want to try that. Not sure if it's gonna look good, so we're just gonna try it out. All my makeup products I'll link down below. I'm not gonna like mention what I'm using because I really just want to focus on answering these questions. And if I also mention like the products, it's just gonna be too long. Just putting on a lip mask because my lips are so dry. Most of these makeup products are the same that I always use because I just haven't really tried new makeup. So yeah, I'm first gonna do my hair actually. I need to just do my baby hairs. And then I started with the makeup. I like cleaned all my makeup brushes and stuff. So makeup should turn out really good today, I'm hoping. Like my makeup wasn't looking that good for a while because I felt like my brushes were just really dirty. And like after a while, it just doesn't apply the makeup as nice. But let's go ahead and get started. So the first question is, does it hurt to put in a tampon? I would say no. If you're doing it right. I know for like a really, especially when I first wore tampons, I got the ones with the plastic applicator. So basically that kind of helps you put it in and make sure it's like deep enough and like whatever. I would suggest maybe trying that if you're first like starting out wearing tampons, because it can just really help. And now like I still kind of use them just because I'm lazy and I think it's easy and like you don't have to get all up in there with your fingers. But if you're comfortable, you can totally just get the regular ones and put them up there yourself. Obviously make sure your fingers are like clean and stuff. I feel like that's also a thing with the plastic applicator ones. Like you don't really have to like touch much with your fingers, especially if you're in like public. So no, putting in tampons shouldn't hurt if you're doing it right. So obviously the first couple of times it's gonna feel really uncomfortable. I remember my first time wearing a tampon, I was so confused. I didn't like it. But the more you wear it, like you're just gonna get used to it. But I would say like, I mean, for like a first time, I'd say start out with tampons, but it would be great if you eventually move on to a period cup just because it's better for your body. You can leave it in for longer without having like any risk. Like a period cup, you can pretty much just change twice a day. So like in the morning and at nighttime. And you're like good. But with tampons, like you can't leave them in for too long because that's like really dangerous. And I feel like especially when you're at the end of your cycle, you're more likely to kind of forget it in there because you're like, wait, I'm like obviously not bleeding enough for it to feel full and me to think like, oh, I need to change it. But you can't like leave it in for 12 hours. Like that's really, really dangerous. And I feel like we've all done that before. So I would suggest like trying period cups, but obviously if you're first starting out, then tampons, just get the ones with the applicator. What are your relationship deal breakers? Ooh. I think the one thing I cannot stand is when someone's controlling, because I have a very big personality. I have a very strong opinion. I don't like when people tell me what to do. So I couldn't be with someone that's like controlling because you're not about to sit here and tell me what I can and can't do. Like absolutely not. That's like the last thing. I cannot handle that. So I feel like someone that's controlling, that's like a deal breaker for me. And besides that, I feel like I can name things right now, but I feel like at the end of the day, if you're like in love with someone, some things aren't gonna be that big of a deal anymore. As long as it's healthy, you know, not like obviously cheating and stuff, that's a deal breaker too. But like I'm just talking about little maybe pet peeves that you might have now, but when you like fall in love with someone, they're not gonna be that big of a deal because like they're like good for you. So like it kind of plays out. But I'd say like controlling people, I don't like that at all. How to not make it super awkward after doing the deed. I feel like I haven't really felt awkward ever after having sex. Like I think it really depends on the person that you're with, because I feel like for me, like after we've done the deed, it's just kind of like, okay, kind of putting some of your clothes back on, going to pee, just grabbing something to drink, and you're just kind of like chilling after. Like I don't really, or you like hop into the shower together. That could make it, maybe if you can do that, I would say maybe do that, because it kind of just creates this really chill vibe if you're comfortable doing that, obviously. But besides that, I feel like it's never really awkward for me. Like it's really like in your mind if you make it awkward, because you just had sex. Like what more? Like I don't know, I just don't see that being awkward. So I don't really know. I find that hard to answer. But I think maybe like putting on some music if it wasn't already on. Hopping into the shower together, maybe. I don't know, but just don't make it awkward. I feel like, I mean, it's not an awkward thing, like it's just so normal. So it really depends on your relationship with that person, I think. What's your opinion on OnlyFans? So this was a girl that basically said that she really wanted to start one, and I'm like so happy OnlyFans exists, because like for so many women it creates a safer environment like for so many like sex workers, because sex work is definitely a very dangerous field. And I feel like even though I love that OnlyFans is there and I support everyone that's on there, like I think it's amazing that women, not even women, like everyone gets to like do that, make money, hustle, you know, I'm always for that. But I do think that a lot of young girls, especially who just turned 18, want to get on there but don't realize how dangerous sex work can actually be, and like the effect it can have on your future. Like if you feel like you want to like become a lawyer, I wouldn't suggest getting on OnlyFans, because it can totally, especially with today's society, it's the same thing with tattoos. Like people still see it as something that's bad or like unprofessional, and I feel like with OnlyFans you definitely are taking a risk by getting on there. But if you feel like you're ready and you know, I guess, the ins and outs, then obviously go ahead. But I do think that a lot of especially young girls don't realize how dangerous sex work can be, and that it's not just, you know, posting content and that's it. Like there's a lot that comes along with it, and also making sure that people aren't like stealing your shit or like reposting it. Like I feel like you really need to like read into it before getting into that, if that makes sense. But if you're like all prepared and you're good and like that's what you want to do, then I mean go ahead, right? I want to see this guy after we've had a one-night stand, but I'm not sure if he wants to see me too. What should I do? I mean, the only thing you can really do is just be honest, be upfront, be like, hey, I had a really good time with you. I know it's kind of like a one-night stand, but I do kind of want to see you again. Let me know how I feel about that. If he's like no, then I guess that's it. And maybe he's like, yeah, totally, like I was thinking about it too. Maybe he was like, he's waiting for you to say it. But like honestly, you have nothing to lose at this point, so I'd say just tell him you want to see him again. If he doesn't want to, or is being kind of like, I don't know, then just leave it. But maybe he's like super excited for you to tell him that, and he's like, damn, I've been wanting to like ask her, but maybe she wasn't feeling it. So just go ahead and say it. Like you have literally nothing to lose, because it was a one-night stand anyway. So like if he says no now, you're in the same position. But maybe you'll say yes, and then maybe it's like a super cute relationship can come out of it. I don't know. I look scary like this. Ew. What the hell? I always look scary when I put on my eye primer. Let me find a blue eyeshadow. I don't even know if I have one. Is there blue in this? Oh, there is. Okay. How do you become more confident in the bedroom? What to do when you don't have much experience? So to answer the first one, how to feel more confident, I'd say obviously like do the little things that make you feel good about yourself. Like maybe you want to get waxed, maybe you want to shave, maybe you want to just like take a shower, put on your favorite body lotion, maybe you want to put on some perfume, wear cute little underwear set. Whatever makes you feel good about your body, I'd say do that. What to do when you don't have much experience? So this can go two ways, and I'm gonna like give advice in two ways. So the first thing you can do is be honest to the person you're about to have sex with and be like, look, I don't have much experience, just so you know, like I haven't ever had sex, or I haven't, you know, in a long time, or whatever it is. You can be honest and just tell them. Or you can go a route where you're just like faking it until you make it. I feel like that's kind of what I do usually when I feel like, oh, this person has more experience than I do. Just fake it till you make it. Just be like, I know what I'm doing, but you don't. I mean, you can look up some tips maybe if you want to. You can Google it, or like if there's something you really want to try but you don't know how to go about it in the bed, then you can maybe Google it or ask like your friends or something. But you can go two ways. You can either be honest and just tell the person, or you can fake it till you make it and just pretend like you know what the fuck you're doing. Should I zoom you in? I probably should. I have no idea if this is gonna look good on me. I feel like I've never really worn blue eyeshadow like this, but I feel like it's also just super patchy. That's always kind of the case with blue, isn't it? Just looks really patchy. I thought I'd start with my eyes first and I can clean it up with foundation and concealer. That's literally so patchy. I definitely need to like keep my eyes open. That looks kind of scary, huh? Ew. Oh yeah, how's your new birth control? Any side effects? So I got my IUD put in, I think almost a month ago. I think it's been like 3 weeks or like 2.5. Up until now, I'm very like positive, like everything went well. I talked about in my vlog how my experience went, but just a little recap. It wasn't that painful to me. I took a painkiller 2 hours before. The only thing that I hated was the ultrasound she did, because she did it like with a thing in your vagina. It's not like on your stomach, it's like inwards, inserted. I didn't like that. She was like literally trying to put it in so many different angles. I was like, there's no room to do that. And then I hated when she went to like measure. She had to like measure something in my uterus before putting it in. And that did not feel good. I hated that. And then when she put the actual thing in, I barely felt anything. I just had some cramps afterwards. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. I had quite a good experience. Side effects, oh, by the way, I have a copper IUD, so it's without hormones. Side effects I've had was my period was longer. Like a couple of days longer. I had pretty bad cramps, and I still, even when I'm not on my period, I randomly get like cramps that I just know comes from my uterus. Like it's not cramps of like, oh, I have to take a shit. Like it's very clearly cramping of my uterus, so I still get that even when I'm not on my period. But it's nothing too bad. Like I can handle it. Besides that, it's been pretty good. I haven't had my second period yet. I've only had my period when I got it put in, so I still have to like get my actual period while it's in there. I'm curious to see how that goes. I'll probably let you guys know in the vlogs or something. But up until now, I'm positive about the IUD, especially because it doesn't have hormones in it, so nothing's really supposed to change besides the fact that it can make your period like heavier and like you bleed more, but it's not supposed to do anything crazy besides that, and it just takes a couple of months for my body to get used to it. So I had it for a couple weeks now, and I'm okay up until now. Like I haven't had any crazy side effects yet, so we'll see how that goes. If your partner cheated on you but you knew you were meant to be / soulmates, what would you do? Cheating is something that I personally will not ever accept. I had too much shit, like seeing too much shit around me with like cheating and stuff. I just think that cheating, like if you can cheat on the person you you don't love them. Like, I'm so sorry, because I could never cheat. I could never ever cheat on someone, and I just don't get how people do it. So I will never understand that. I'll never accept it. If I'm in a relationship with someone, they cheat on me, it's done. I'm not going back. I've seen too many things where people like forgive them, they just do it again. Like, I'm sure there is some people that can change, but I feel like, oh shit, I feel like in general cheaters are cheaters, and I don't think they're gonna change. So I already have kind of a hard time with trust and stuff, so I feel like if this person were to cheat on me, I would never ever gain their trust back. Like, it would never, or like they would never gain my trust back. Wait, which one is it? I don't know. Anyways, I'd never trust them again. That's it. So no, cheating to me personally is like end of relationship. I wouldn't suggest anyone to go back. Like, just feel like cheating is just, how do you just do that? I don't understand it. I will never understand it, honestly. How's your mental health going? You seem so balanced. Actually, my mental health, I mean, it's been okay. I've definitely been struggling with some things lately, which is why I haven't been vlogging as much. I'm, you know, trying to take a little bit of time off of social media because I have some things that I need to do with myself. In general, I'm like fine. I just have to put some like things to deal with, but like I feel like my life's just really not, I wouldn't say stressful, but it's just a lot right now because I'm also like getting ready to move and stuff, and there's just a lot happening at once, which is making it a bit difficult for me to deal with. But in general, I'm like totally fine. I'm just trying to navigate through life like everyone else, and yeah, I don't know if I'm balanced. Like, there's a lot of things I need to work on, and I'm kind of moving everything, or like procrastinating maybe. I keep saying like, oh, once I've moved, and I'm really close to moving, but I truly think that once I've moved and I'm in a new environment, I can work on the things that I want to work on. So I'm kind of just trying to deal with it now. I do feel like I've been kind of gravitating more towards smoking weed to deal with it, which I wouldn't say is healthy. I'm not doing it in an unhealthy way, but I'm definitely kind of reaching like out to the weed, I guess, to like help me cope. So I'm hoping that once I've moved and I get to kind of work on those things like hands-on, I can lay off the weed a little bit, because I feel like I've been smoking quite a lot lately, which I do not suggest. Like, you don't want to overdo it if you are a smoker. It is what it is. I'm semi-balanced. How is your relationship with Fabienne? So Fabienne is my best friend, and we are moving in together this month, which is really exciting. We met, I think, almost 6 years ago now, like 5.5 years ago. We met at school, and actually when we first met, we weren't even that close. Like, we were so different from each other, but we were kind of just hanging out here and there, and then after I think like 2 years maybe, we ended up getting really, really close, and from then on we just kind of really grew to like, because we weren't similar at all at first, but because we kind of grew up and got mature together, we really like just kind of became almost the same person. Like, we still have our differences, but in general we like are very alike. We can like read each other's minds, like we know each other so well, and I think that's because of the fact that we kind of like matured together and like went through those phases together that really shaped us as a person. So yeah, we are besties, and I'm really excited for the move and stuff. You guys are gonna see her more during like the moving vlogs, and then obviously after, because then she's gonna be living with me. She's gonna be in the vlogs a lot more, so stay tuned for that. I'm just setting my face real quick. I don't know if I like the blue. I'm not really used to it, but at what age would you like to get married? Ooh, I don't even know. Like, it's not like I don't want to get married, but it's not necessarily on my bucket list. I'd want to get married whenever I'm with someone and we feel like, you know, that's what we want to do. But I don't necessarily have to get married ever. Like, I I feel like I only really want to get married for the ring and the party. Not even to like be married, like I don't really care. So it really depends. I think if I were to get married, I'd love to get married once I already have kids, because then you can like have all your kids at the wedding, and I think that's really cute. So yeah, I don't know, we'll see. Like I don't necessarily have to get married, in my opinion. Like if it happens, it happens. Could you talk about nipple sizes? Sounds weird, but I'm really insecure about mine. I decided to like pick out this question because I feel like there's probably a lot of girls and women that feel insecure about their nipples, because nipples are nipples, and everyone's nipples look so different, and like your nipples can look a certain way one day and then look totally different the other. Like they'll look different when they're soft, when they're hard. Like nipples are nipples, and I feel like why are we worrying about those small things? Like it's just nipples, everyone has them, and I truly just believe that no one should ever be like bothered. Like they're just nipples, they're just there. And you know, I don't know, I'm not explaining it because I totally understand where the insecurity comes from, because sometimes I'll look at my nipples, I'll be like, what is this, you know, like they look so weird. I feel like once I got nipple piercings, that definitely made me feel more confident about them, because it, I guess, somewhat hides them a little. Like my nipple piercings don't necessarily keep my nipples hard, so my nipples are still pretty much the same, but it just kind of shows them in a different light, I guess. And like, ew, my makeup looks so bad. I feel like it's so patchy. I thought it was gonna look good because I clean my brushes, but apparently not. Nipples are nipples, babe, and no one, I feel like no one really has perfect nipples. Everyone's nipples look different. Everyone's gonna have a thing that looks kind of weird. You know, you have some hair on your nips, you know, all of that. It's normal. And don't worry about it, honestly. Like I don't think anyone's ever gonna just sit there and be like, damn, your nipples are weird, because like they're just nipples, you know. That's how I feel about it. And I hate that we always have to worry so much about those little things, because it really should not matter at all, because it's just fucking nipples. We all have them. How do you feel about living with a roommate that isn't family? So like I said, I'm moving in with Fabienne this month, and I haven't really thought about it like that, because I don't necessarily feel like I have to live with family, you know what I mean? But I think like Fabienne kind of feels like a sister to me now. Like it's not like I just see her as my best friend. Like we're so close, she could literally be my sister. So I don't look at it like that. Like I don't really care. I feel like we can handle living together for the next couple of years, and I think it's a good way for us to explore the new city. You know, obviously there's going to be challenges, because that's with anyone that you live with, even if it's family. But in general, I think we'll be fine. And I don't really think just because she's not family, I don't think that changes anything. Because just because you're family, that honestly, to me, that doesn't mean anything. Like, and I'm not saying like family doesn't mean anything, but I mean like sometimes certain people that aren't your family are more important, or they're for you more than actual family. Hope that makes sense. Like some friends you choose over certain family members, and vice versa, you know. How else you know if he's the right one to lose your virginity to? I think I don't feel like you can ever know if he's the right one, because who's really the right one? I don't really believe in that, but I think that as long as you feel comfortable around this person, they make you feel comfortable in whatever way you want to feel comfortable, like whether that's physically or mentally, whatever. If they make you feel comfortable and you're comfortable enough to do that, then I think it's like fine. And if you feel like their intentions are right, you know, if that's what you care about, obviously. Like if you don't care about it, then obviously just make sure you're comfortable and you're in a safe environment, you know, especially for your first time. You just want to feel comfortable and safe, and I think that's all you can really do. Like at the end of the day, you're never gonna know if someone's the right person, because even if you think so, it can still end up super fucked up, you know, because you don't know what people are thinking. Some people are like fake, but I think in general, if you just make sure you are comfortable and you're sure about it, then you should be fine. Again, I feel like people really created a stigma around losing your virginity. Not saying that obviously if it means a lot to you, like that's totally fine, but I feel like in general people really just pretend like it's something so special, and like To me personally, it's not. That's really something personal that everyone gets to decide for themselves. If you feel like you just want to lose your virginity, girl, go ahead. Some people will tell you like, oh, I thought that and I regret it now. But at the end of the day, everyone's gonna be different. Everyone's gonna think differently. Just do whatever makes you feel good. I don't know if I like this makeup, but I'll just go with it. Have you ever been truly heartbroken? If so, how did you get over it? I feel like I've recently actually gone through my first heartbreak. Like I thought I'd gone through heartbreak before, but I don't think that was real heartbreak. I feel like I've only recently gone through it for the first time. It's really painful. It like physically hurts. How did you get over it? Still something I'm trying to get over. I'm in the process of getting over it. I think it's important to distract yourself, to set goals for yourself, something that you can work on and not be focused on the person you're trying to get over. I'm the type of person that likes to put up a front. I'm not gonna sit here every day and cry because I just don't have the time for it. But if that's what you want to do and you feel like that helps you, then definitely do that. Let out the tears whenever you feel like they need to come out. That's really important. But then also, you need to be able to just pick yourself back up and get your shit done, even if it's like throughout the day, like having to work or having to go to school. And then once you get home, you can go ahead and cry, like it's fine. And like just ask people around you for help. If it's like your mom or your friends, just be like, okay, listen, I'm trying to get over this person, but I'm gonna need your help when it comes to like distractions. Sometimes I'm just gonna need to cry on your shoulder. Sometimes I'm gonna need you to just be there, or we need to like do something together. I feel like it's totally fine to ask for help around you, because that does really make it a lot easier. Even if people just know that you're going through it, you know, and not that it's like you constantly feel like you have to just put up a front and stay strong and whatever. So that's what kind of helps me, distracting myself, and also just kind of getting back to that place of self-love and like figuring out who you are, what you're worth. Like that's really important, because in the beginning you're gonna be like, oh, like I'm never gonna find anyone else. But then eventually when you get back to your like inner self, it sounds so deep, but you like realize how much you're worth, and you're like, I can get anyone I want. This is not the end of the world. This is not the only person out there for me, you know. It's not like this is it, like this is not the end, you know what I mean? And I'll meet someone again, and now I'm just gonna focus on me and getting my shit done that I've been wanting to get done, because also dating can be very distracting from your actual goals. So I'd say like if you feel like there were things you wanted to get done but you couldn't because you were dating this person, then try and get them done now. Like focus on that. I'm a workaholic, so I always just focus on working. That's like my thing. What's your opinion on birth control with hormones? Any negative experiences with it? So I've only been on the pill. I started when I was like 13 because I was losing so much blood that it gave me, is it pneumonia, I think? Anyways, and my iron was really low. So I started the pill so that I could kind of regulate my periods, because I'd sometimes be like on a period for like a full week, bleeding super heavy, or like a week and a half. So when I got on the pill, I was able to kind of regulate my cycle a bit more. And then after I think 2 years or something, maybe a bit longer, I got off of it. But now when I think back, when I started the pill, that's also when like my depression really got bad and everything. So I truly think it was from the pill, because when I got back on the pill like a couple years ago, I noticed how mentally, like how it affected me. And like the only thing I liked about the pill was that I was able to choose when I got my period, and it made my boobs bigger. But also the pill gave me major binge eating like sessions, which, not to say that that's necessarily bad, but for me, while also dealing with an eating disorder, it was really, really bad. Like it just wasn't working for me. It made me mentally really, really low, and I just couldn't deal with anything. Like I was super emotional about a lot of things, and life was really hard, I feel like, when I got on the pill. As soon as I got off of it, everything just became more normal again. Like my head was more clear. I mean, I lost weight just because I stopped just like binge eating. Not to say that it's like a way to lose weight. Like I never intentionally lost weight. I just stopped binging like a bunch of shit, which instantly already made my body a bit healthier because I was just eating a bunch of bullshit, which now I still kind of do, but I'm also like on a bit more of a regular eating schedule. That's for a whole nother time. Like I need to work on that. But yeah, the pill just wasn't doing anything good for me, so I got off of it, and now I'm on the IUD without hormones, and I've only had it for a couple weeks, like I said, so can't really speak on it. But personally for me, I don't really want to put hormones in my body again. Birth control is so personal. Some people swear by the pill, some people hate an IUD. Like it's gonna be so different for everyone, and the only thing you can do is try it out yourself and go to your doctor and see what the best options for you are. If he's the right one, but it's the wrong time for him, should I wait or move on? I totally get the situation because I feel like I'm in it, I think, where I've been in that situation. It's you should never wait, which is really hard because I know like in your mind you're like, I'm not gonna wait, but I'm kind of gonna wait, because like obviously you're kind of hoping that something's gonna come in the future. But realistically, you shouldn't wait and you should just move on. And a lot of times they'll come back once you've moved on, which is very frustrating. You're like, you should have done this earlier because I was like head over heels for you. But I feel like I just ruined my makeup by doing that. Why did I do that? I definitely wasn't supposed to do that. I don't think you should wait, but that's really hard, and I think you should just start moving on. If you really think that he's really trying and you still see something coming from it, you can kind of not fully move on, but don't just sit there and wait, because that's not going to work out. You know, there's a chance he's just gonna eventually run into someone else and be like, oh, this is the person for me, and then you've waited all this time. So I would say move on, talk to other people, like just kind of keep your options open, especially that. And then if they, was it a he? Oh yeah, it was a he. If the person ends up coming around and being like, I still want you, and you're still kind of like, okay, I'd still want to try, then obviously go for it. But maybe you're not, maybe you've moved on. Maybe you're like, I don't want you now, so oh well. But don't just sit and wait. That's honestly not going to do anything good for you. Not saying this is always going to help, but just showing them what they're missing out on by literally just not reaching out. Make them miss you. If they really like you, they're gonna notice that. If they don't mind it, then obviously they didn't like you enough, or they didn't like you at all. But give them some of like that space to miss you as well, because that can really like tell you a lot already. Like if they end up reaching out, or like they're like, damn, like I did miss you, that says enough. Because sometimes people just need that realization. But if he's like totally fine with you not talking, then obviously that also gives you an answer. How do you feel about moving out since you're so close with your mom? So I'm really excited to move out just because I really crave that space and my own like place and that next step of like adulthood. I'm still gonna see my mom a lot, and we're really close. Like I'll FaceTime her like every day probably. Eventually, like later on this year, I want to get her a car so she can just come see me whenever, because we're gonna live quite far away from each other. I'm excited. I'm sure once I'm there I'm gonna miss her a lot, but for right now I'm still really excited, and I kind of want to just keep that mindset because there's no need to get sad yet. What's your opinion on women not wanting kids? Do you think there's a pressure? Absolutely. I feel like especially when women like hit their 30s, all of a sudden everyone's asking them, oh, when are you having kids? When are you having kids? When are you getting married? And honestly, same goes for if you're like in your 20s and you are in a relationship. They're constantly asking like, oh, when are you starting to have babies? When like, who says that person even wants to? Like, I know for me, I definitely like becoming a mom is like the one goal in life that I have. I don't even care if I don't find my soulmate. If I just can have my kids in the future, I'm totally good. So I know I want to be a mom, but there are so many women that don't even want to, and it's like, why are you asking women as if it's just like you don't have to have kids? Like, you're not obligated to. So there's definitely pressure there, especially when you hit your 30s. They're like, oh, your like clock is ticking. Like, who the fuck cares? Like, if you don't want kids, you don't want kids. If you want to have kids in your 30s, that's fine too. Like, not everyone has to have kids when they're like 20. Like, I feel like when it comes to kids, there's just so many stigmas and there's so much pressure. Can we let it go? If someone wants to have a kid, they'll have a kid. Don't constantly ask, or like, you know. Also, not to mention the amount of women that are struggling to have kids or can't have kids, and they constantly have to hear you talk about it, or asking them like, oh, when are you having kids? Who knows, maybe this woman has been trying for years and now you're sitting here asking her. Like, that's so ignorant. Okay, putting this hair in a ponytail is quite a struggle, and I always have to, I can't get it right the first try, but now I'm gonna sit here and pull on every braid to make sure it's like tight enough. The last question is, when you're having sex, what do you do when you queef? I thought this one was so funny, I had to put it in. I remember when I queefed for the first time, I was like, so this is what my best friend's been telling me about. This is what everyone's been talking about. It was so funny. I feel like when it happens for like a first time with someone, you'll like laugh at it, and then eventually it just becomes normal. It doesn't happen in every position. It kind of depends on what you're doing, but if you're like with a person, it just happens a lot, then it just kind of becomes normal and you don't even mention it. But first couple of times you'll laugh at it. It's like funny. It's really funny to me. Or when you're like done and you just like get up and there's just like a bunch of queefs coming out of your vagina. It's really funny. It's normal, it's part of the deed, and nothing to be ashamed about. Sometimes I'm like, damn girl, like what is going on? You're like, oh my god, can you tone it down? Please tone it down. So those are all the questions. I'm gonna quickly show you my outfit because that's always fun. I think this eyeshadow turned out quite cute. I think I like it. I wasn't expecting to like it, but I think it looks really cool. I feel like if you look really close, it's kind of patchy. Just kind of the blue. Really cute. Quick for my necklaces, because I know I'm gonna get questions. So this smaller, thicker one, ignore the fact that my nail broke off. This one's from Etsy. I forgot the exact name, but I'll leave a link down below. These two are from Grwm and I. So I've been wearing this one for like since like last summer, the cherry one, and then I recently got this one from them, which is just an L. And then this one is from Crafted. I recently did a collab with them on Instagram. I also have this like angel, like Cupid with a gun necklace, but yeah, I thought this was a cute little combo. Kind of like trying to stack some necklaces for like my everyday thing. I don't take these off. I've only put this one on yesterday, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it on yet because I feel like it's a bit too long for like an everyday stack. But these three I've had on and don't take them off ever. And for my earrings, most of these are Etsy. I actually got this one gifted. What's it called again? This brand. So I got this really pretty one gifted. Only put it in today, so I don't know if it's gonna like irritate my ears or anything, so we'll see. If it does, I'll take it out, but I thought it was really cute because it's like a safety pin with like diamonds on it, and the rest is just the same as always. So let me show you my outfit now. So this is my outfit today. It's definitely like an everyday look for me. I love wearing just comfy stuff, so I'm wearing these leggings from Grwm and I. They're tight fitting, and then they have a flare at the bottom with a slit. They're just kind of like a ripped fabric, and then I'm wearing this cardigan from Weekday, little cardigan, and then I'm wearing it with my Jordans, and that's literally my outfit today. Just super simple, and yeah, this is kind of what I usually wear on like an everyday basis if I'm not shooting. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you did, and of course subscribe. Also follow me on my Instagram because I post on there every single day, whether that's on my story or on my feed. I'm always active, and turn on my post notifications so that you will be notified every time I upload a video. Thank you for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video.